Lori Loughlin and 9 other parents face new charges in the college admissions scandal.
A fire in Pacific Palisades has been mostly contained. We talked to a firefighter about conditions that have residents on edge.
I'm Hunter Patterson here at Staples Center, where LA Live is as live as could possibly be right now. And there was even some unsportsmanlike conduct in line earlier. Stay tuned with us for more.
Annenberg TV News is coming up right now.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Federal prosecutors announced new charges in the college admissions scandal. Good evening, I'm Jamia Pugh.
The new charges could mean more jail time for Full House actress Lori Loughlin and her husband. And I'm Robbie Aronson. Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli are now charged with conspiring to bribe USC employees to get their daughters Olivia Jade and Isabella admitted into the university. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston, they could face up to 5 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. We spoke to a former prosecutor about what the new charges might mean.
They have refused to plead out. The government responded with more charges. And at the end of the day, even if the defendants accepted a plea deal tomorrow, they are now exposed to even more federal prison time by virtue of waiting. And if hypothetically the parents now continue to reject a plea deal and they have the audacity to go to jury trial and lose, we're not talking 15 days to 5 months in federal prison. We're talking years.
Loughlin and Giannulli have pled not guilty, and their daughters are no longer enrolled at USC.
The acting ambassador for Ukraine testified today in the House impeachment inquiry. According to Democrats who attended the closed-door hearing, William Taylor's testimony could be damaging to the president. Taylor became a key witness in the investigation after text messages revealed he thought it was, quote, crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a critical campaign. The investigations are a result of the impeachment inquiry announced by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in September. Lawmakers are looking into whether the president withheld close to $400 million in aid to Ukraine in exchange for digging up dirt on Democrats, including Vice President Joe Biden. The president tweeted today, quote, all Republicans must remember what they are witnessing here, a lynching. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisles responded quickly to the controversial tweet.
But the president's not comparing what happened to him with one of our darkest moments in American history. What he's explaining clearly is the way he's been treated by the media since he announced for president.
Does he not know the history of lynching in this country? Does he not know that thousands of African Americans were lynched?
I think it is racially charged and insensitive. You know, the talk about lynchings in this circumstance, this president is being subjected to the Constitution and the laws of the land. That's a far cry from a lynching.
Lisa Desjardins, a correspondent for PBS NewsHour, spoke to Annenberg Media about the impeachment inquiry.
I think it is likely that the House will vote on articles of impeachment. I think we probably will have an impeachment trial in the Senate. And believe it or not, it didn't seem like partisan tensions could be any higher, but I think they'll get even more tense. You know, I think it is going to be tough in Washington and tough for our country. You know, we're at a time when the two sides seem so separate. I think for a few months that might get a little worse.
Lisa spoke to students and faculty at USC Annenberg about what her newsroom at PBS is doing to make following the impeachment process easier.
We feel like impeachment is so significant and historic, but it's so complicated that we want a newsletter that just lays it out simply. Here's what happened that matters. Here's all the confusing process put out simply. You make it easy for people to understand.
All of this comes from a whistleblower complaint filed last month. The House could vote on articles of impeachment before the end of the year.
Residents in the Pacific Palisades can breathe easy again. The fires that burned 40 acres of hillsides and came dangerously close to homes have been put out. The fire started yesterday morning on North Palisades Drive. Officials say around 200 homes were evacuated as firefighters raced to contain the flames. The evacuation order was lifted last night, but firefighters continued working until this morning to make sure there were no hot spots.
As far as the aerial tactics, they're dropping a combination of water and some fire retardant. We're going to protect this hillside. That's our location, that's our assignment.
Hot pink fire retardant was dumped over the area, blanketing roads and nearby scenery. No injuries have been reported and no structures were damaged. Investigators are still trying to determine how the fire started. Major electrical companies PG&E and SoCal Edison are shutting down electricity for safety reasons. Representatives say this is the last resort to prevent wildfires during extreme heat and winds. Hundreds of thousands of Californians are expected to be infected.
It is a very specific process. A great number of factors, as I outlined, are taken into consideration. We work with local communities, officials, emergency operations personnel, and so on, to talk to them and share information.
In Los Angeles County, it is reported more than 18,000 SoCal Edison customers will be affected by the power outage. Impacted areas include Lake Elizabeth, Lancaster, Santa Clarita, San Fernando, Altadena, Glendora, and Rowland Heights.
Angry tenants say landlords are trying to evict them before a new rent control law goes into effect. Today, the City Council heard them and passed a moratorium on these evictions.
I've lived for the last 27 years at the Santa Fe Art Colony. The owner is raising my rent 120% for November and December. I cannot afford that.
Personally, it affects me because where I live is really expensive as well. I've been homeless 3 times before, so I know how it feels, and I know that a lot of families are going through the same thing.
Some landlords say that the Tenant Protection Act should actually be called the Tenant Welfare Act.
It drains money out of the industry. It creates a lack of supply of housing, and that creates higher rents. It affects the supply demand so that less housing is built and rents go up.
The new law goes into effect in January. Rent increases will be capped at 5% a year. This will affect about 2 million California renters. Every year, Los Angeles gets hotter and hotter. Today, Mayor Eric Garcetti announced a plan to cool off the streets and residents of South LA. The project, called Cool Streets LA, will be replacing black asphalt with cooler pavement materials. The goal is to plant 90,000 new trees by 2021. New shade structures will be installed at bus stops around the area.
We are here today, though, to do something about it, to take action and to say we're not powerless in the face of climate change, that we can take care of our health on hot days, and that we have a responsibility to take some of our city's most vulnerable, hottest neighborhoods and do something to improve them.
Supporters hope that someday this initiative will expand beyond LA.
We're setting a trend for everybody else to follow. Let's plant these trees. Let's grow life. Let's grow. We're growing. It's about growing. It's about planting, nurturing, and growing. And when you do it to the planet, you're doing it to the communities, you're doing it to the environment, and it affects all of us.
Cool Streets LA says the priority is to increase the comfort level of low-income residents who stand in the hot sun while waiting for the bus.
Guys, it's opening night at the Staples Center, and the Clippers are taking on the Lakers. Clippers fans have been lining up outside of the arena for hours, just hoping to see some of the new stars make their debut tonight. This season, the Clippers are offering $10 tickets for a limited number of fans who arrive early at their home games. But today, there was pushing and shouting in line as fans waited in 95-degree weather to claim their cheap seats to the sold-out game.
There's been a bunch of Clipper in-name onlys and fakers out there that are trying to cut in line, that have like their Laker gear beneath their Clipper gear as well.
I'm a Lakers fan right here. I'm in the skies right now. I'm trying to get my $10 tickets in line.
Multiple Clippers executives were waiting outside with the fans, trying to calm things down.
Everybody's been energetic today because I think the excitement is as high as it's been. I think people want to make sure that they secure their seats, and so the line's definitely been jostling back and forth, and we're doing our best to make sure everyone that has been here, dedicated their time to come out, gets in the game, and has a great night.
Now for more on the big night, let's go to Annenberg Media's Hunter Patterson, live at the Staples Center. Hunter, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Robbie. Now, Honey is a local tech company that's partnered with the Clippers, and they will give out They will give out an undisclosed amount of tickets throughout the year, all 41 home games, for just $10. Now, Patrick Beverly is the face of this campaign, as he says he used to sneak into the United Center for Chicago Bulls games growing up. So I do now have the world's biggest Clipper fan. I will get him in just a quick second, my man Clipper Darrell. So Clipper Darrell, can you talk to us a little bit about your expectations for tonight and the rest of the season?
You already know what my expectations is, baby. Okay, we're going to win tonight.
Right.
We're going to stomp on the Lakers. And then it's our year, though. This is our time, man. The Steve Ballmer era is here now, and we're going all the way, baby. So 2020, NBA champions.
Okay, you heard it here first. 2020 NBA champions. Appreciate you, Clipper Darrell. Back to you in the studio.
That was just great. A new USC study reveals why breast cancer cells spread to the brain. We talked to the lead researcher.
And a new app is in works to detect bias in film and TV scripts. The creators show us how the app actually works.
And USC has its own version of Shark Tank. We talked to finalists pitching their innovations tonight.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El Bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
USC Viterbi, Gina Davis, and Disney are now partners in creating a digital tool named Spell Check for Bias. We caught up with Viterbi's research team behind the project and their current development. The Signal Analysis and Interpretation Laboratory led this project in assessing scripts. The goal is to process data to identify early assessments of how much a person is seen on screen.
So by understanding the scripts, we can understand a lot of things about not only how many words a person has, a character has, but also, who's interacting with whom, about what's the agency of a character. So our lab, our students have been developing a lot of methodologies, computational methodologies to understand that.
The tool will look for diverse portrayals of people in media, film, and television. The research approach aims to understand the stories being told by media and the impact it has on people.
I hope that it'll be a household name where people will see the impact of this on several aspects of their life, including how has media changed over years and how may this influence you and so on. And this is a very cross-disciplinary work. So we want more questions, we want more challenges.
The partnership will continue to build on this research to test who is represented and how.
October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a possible new treatment could be on the way. USC researchers have discovered how breast cancer cells can spread to the brain. We spoke to an assistant professor of stem cell and regenerative medicine at the Keck School of Medicine.
For breast cancer, the main reason the patient die from the cancer is mainly the metastasis. So we want to know, first, why certain cells are able to grow the metastasis. Second, how we can have a way to monitor and predict high-risk patient for certain metastasis in certain organ.
U's lab is focused on creating drugs to prevent breast cancer cells from traveling. They are isolating cells that travel to the brain. The drug company Biogen has announced today that it will soon request government approval for an Alzheimer's treatment. Although the company previously said that the drug would not work, they are now more confident following further research and testing.
It's very difficult to assess the response and to have a tool to monitor the effects of the drug. So to give you an example, if you have diabetes and you're going to get a medication for your diabetes, it's very easy to look at things like blood sugar and say, okay, this drug is working or this drug is not working.
Alzheimer's disease affects over 5 million Americans, and there are currently no drugs on the market that work to prevent it. This landmark discovery may help millions' lives for the better. Now, Jamia, I was outside waiting with those Lakers and Clippers fans. It was really hot. I wonder how it's going to stay that way.
You know what? I love being in LA, but I'm not a fan of the heat. I'll tell you that. I'm ready for it to pass us by. Hopefully, our weather anchor, Sarah, can tell us that that's happening soon.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it is a really hot day today in Los Angeles. The National Weather Service put out a heat advisory warning that's going to be lasting until 8 o'clock p.m. Conditions right now are 94 degrees with a low 16% humidity. And then going into tomorrow's weather, it's also going to stay pretty warm. Looking into the Inland Empire area, we have 57 in San Bernardino, 94 in Riverside, 68 in Big Bear, and 95 in Palm Springs. And just keep in mind, we are going to be feeling those strong Santa Ana winds going. We have also hot weather in the Valley area with 92 in Thousand Oaks, 82 in Malibu, probably, feeling some of the effects from the fires that have been going on in the Palisades area, 94 in Northridge, and then moving on back into USC where it's still pretty warm in the adjacent areas as well, 89, 84 at LAX, 85 at Long Beach, and still warm up here in the inland area as well. There is also a red flag warning going on from late Wednesday evening until Friday evening. Looking into the 5-day forecast where weather heats up on Friday and cools down by the weekend, still stays pretty warm for the week. Just be on the lookout, wearing cool clothes and whatnot. And in case you needed a reminder to get the flu shot, the first flu death of the season was reported in Los Angeles County. The man was middle-aged and had underlying health conditions. Engelman Health Center says students should wash their hands frequently, avoid touching their eyes, mouth, and nose, and use alcohol-based sanitizer. If you are sick, make sure to stay home.
Taking time for myself to make sure that my body feels good, and knowing when to take a break from studying and take a break and just go outside and go for a walk.
I'm actually just getting over the flu, so I got the flu shot. It gave me the flu. I don't know if it was a prominent this year or they gave me a different type of vaccine, but yeah, I got the flu this year 3 or 4 days after I got the shot.
Students can get their flu shot at the Engelman Health Center or at CVS Pharmacy. I'm really trying not to get the flu. I still have midterms going on. What about you guys?
No, me too. I've already been sick once already. I don't want to get sick again.
I haven't been sick. Let me knock on wood, or glass, should I say. But in other news, USC has a new twist on a TV favorite, Shark Tank. The college-inspired version is called To Me Tank, and tonight, 3 entrepreneur finalists will pitch their innovations in front of a panel of venture capitalists.
Being top 3 is already huge success for us. I think that if I really have to pick one thing that why we are standing out against our competitors, I think that we are a very student platform and we already have users and we are growing.
I think one thing that we really care about that gives us a value prop over our competitors is that we actually have a social initiative behind us. This isn't about making money. This isn't about becoming a big company. It's solely about helping students with a problem that we all face. So I think that's what gives me a little bit of an edge and why I believe we may win tonight.
There are 3 finalists competing to win thousands of dollars in grant money to further develop their startups.
If there's one time where you should take the risk and start a business, it's right now. And USC has the resources, even though you might not know it. USC has a ton of resources to help get you off the ground.
The event will take place tonight at the Bovard Auditorium. Doors open at 6:15 and the show starts at 7. Guys, what's up with sports?
Yeah, let us know. Big game.
So, the NBA season kicks off tonight with Lakers versus Clippers as they face off for bragging rights in Los Angeles. Coach Helton gives an update on the injuries suffered on Saturday's win over Arizona. And Sam Darnold had a Monday that I'm sure he would like to forget about. All this and more after the break.
They'll split up.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Trojans can't seem to catch a break. Despite blowing out Arizona in the homecoming game, the story afterwards was a growing list of injuries. After Monday's practice, several players were confirmed out. Freshman wide receiver Munir McClain is out for the season with a torn ACL. And Talanoa Hufanga, Drake Jackson, and Marquise Stepp are all ruled out for Friday's game with no concrete timetable to return. Coach Helton's message to the players is simple: next man up.
Obviously, that's what we do as coaches, is to be able to get our best players on the field, the guys that we've trained and believed in, and I know it's cliche, but it's next man up. And I've never lost 3 backs in 1 week before in 25 years, but you know what? There's a first time for everything. Find a way to go win a game on the road, and that's what we'll do.
The replacements won't have much time to adjust as they are on a short week and travel to Colorado to face the Buffaloes on Friday at 6 p.m. To say Sam Darnold had a rough night last night would be an understatement. Against the Patriots' #1 ranked defense, the former USC standout threw 4 interceptions, lost 1 fumble, and threw for only 86 yards on a 34% completion rate. Darnold was mic'd up, and ESPN ran a clip of him saying he's seeing ghosts throughout the game. While Darnold goes to get his eyes checked, our reporter Hunter Patterson is live at the Staples Center. Hunter, how's it looking over there?
Thanks, Jordan. LA Live is buzzing with anticipation right now. For the first time, LA has 2 teams that can be competing for titles. Now, since LeBron brought Anthony Davis to the Lakers to join him, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George teamed up on the Clippers, anything can happen. I personally think Lakers are going to end up going further than the Clippers, and barring injuries, should win a title. So I'm very interested to see what Lauren and Jordan have to think in the studio. But for Annenberg Media, I'm Hunter Patterson. Back to you.
Thanks, Hunter. LA has been waiting for this tip-off since this summer's free agency frenzy. Jordan, I know you're a Lakers fan, so tell me, why do you think they might win tonight's game?
2 words: LeBron James. This man is coming up motivated like I've never seen him before. I'm not even the biggest LeBron fan, but I think with his sidekick Anthony Davis, he's motivated to actually come in and play well and keep it up. And the Lakers, I think, are going to win tonight, and they're going to win the championship.
Well, like every one of our debates here at ATVN, I disagree. Of course, I think the Clippers have this, especially when they're a fully healthy team, even though they don't have Paul George tonight. You see, Kawhi puts up 26.6 points a game, and he's also one of the most outstanding defenders in the league, so I think he's going to play both sides of the ball very well tonight.
You don't see the balance of LeBron, 27, 8, and 8. The man's a walking triple-double since his second season in the league.
I guess we'll have to wait till tonight to find out. The Lakers and Clippers, though, is not the only major matchup. The Nationals and Astros took center field not long ago for Game 1 of the World Series. Max Scherzer is pitching for Washington, and Garrett Cole takes the mound for Houston. Currently, Astros are leading the Nationals 2-1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Jordan, really quick, who do you have in this game?
I smell something funny.
What's that?
I think I smell upset.
Oh, my
goodness. I think the Nationals, their pitching stable is great. And you know what they say? defense wins championships.
Well, of course, again, I disagree. I'm going with the Astros. They are winning after all. And it's an exciting fall classic for all. The Astros are looking for their second title in 3 years, and Nationals are seeking their first title in franchise history. I know Robbie's dying to talk about this, so I'll send it back to him at the desk.
Thanks, guys. You know, I was watching the Yankees play the Astros last week. The Astros have some amazing pitching and some amazing hitters. I just don't really see them getting upset by the Nationals. You know, Garrett Cole, Zach Greinke, who's that? Justin Verlander. Wow, that's an amazing rotation. Who do you think's going to win?
I'll be honest, I like to take the underdog approach, so I think the Nationals are going to pull this one out. I don't know too much about baseball. I like it enough to watch it, but I like to take the underdog approach, and I really think they're going to come out on top.
That's definitely fair. They had a really good playoffs, and they have a great rotation as well.
So, ABC 7, NBC, and Disney are a few of the media companies who are recruiting at Annenberg tonight.
USC Hindu students are lighting up the Ronald Tudor Center. We'll take you there.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
More on the college admissions scandal. Annenberg Media has a news story from the Beacon Project about the dean of the Marshall School of Business who was fired last year. Reporters learned from one of 9 search committee members that he was only assigned to interview one candidate for the position, current UPenn Wharton School of Business Dean Jeffrey Garrett. Garrett will lead Marshall next school year, and for the full story, you can head over to uscannenbergmedia.com. But here tonight in Wallace Annenberg Hall, there will be a media networking night with over 40 companies represented. This is the event right now in the Annenberg Forum. There are drinks and snacks, and everyone is invited to mingle. Some of the companies represented are the LA Times, ABC 7, ESPN, and the Walt Disney Company.
The USC Hindu Student Organization is hosting a celebration for the Diwali holiday at 6:30 in the Tudor Center Ballroom.
So every time you light a lamp, you recommit yourself to the triumph of light over darkness. That is what the event or the holiday is mainly about, to purge yourself of all your bad deeds and to become a better person.
Diwali is the highest holy holiday in India. Storefronts, homes, and other public places are decorated with lights during the 5-day festival in India. Now, guys, I want to go back to that Lakers-Clippers game because it's really exciting me, honestly. You said the Lakers were going to win. I think that's probably pretty fair without Paul George. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Lakers they're just ready to go this year. You know, purple and gold. The fans are excited. They're ready to their 17th banner. I love Kawhi, quiet guy, but I love him. I can't get behind the Clippers this year.
No, I definitely agree. I think it's going to be a competitive season. What do you think?
According to fans like Cripple Daryl, though, he's excited that we'll be good.
Well, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Robbie Aronson.
And I'm Jamia Pugh. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps! Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.